Utah State basketball game.
Step back, got it!
With longtime voice of the Aggies, Al Lewis, and one of USU's best ever, Jalen Moore, breaking down the game. Plus, feature interviews with players and coaches, and all the information on the college basketball scene. KVNU Aggie Game Day is brought to you by Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, LSS Insurance, Young Truck and Trailer, DD Auto and Salvage, My Mattress, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Elements Restaurant, White Pine Funeral Home, Chemdry of Northern Utah, Aegis Home Health and Hospice, Les Olson Company, Prodigy Brewing, Cache Valley Bank, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, Daryl's Appliance, HSA Depot, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, Alpine Home Medical, S.E. Needham Jewelers, Thermo Fisher, Primrose Home Care, and Golden Spike Electric. It's the KVNU Aggie Game Day pregame show.
Hey, and tonight, John Judkins, former Aggie player, coaching the Utah Tech Trailblazers against our Aggies in the Spectrum tonight. He was on the first Utah State team to ever win a conference tournament title and to get the automatic spot in the NCAA basketball tournament. Rod Tueller coached John Judkins and some other really good players on that 1988 Big West Conference victory team that did beat Irvine in the final. Coach Tueller won one tournament title. Again, Larry Eustache won one tournament title 10 years later for Utah State for his second one. And then Stu Morrill started to kind of make it kind of an every other year deal. 13 years, 6 times the Aggies won it. Craig Smith, of course, added 2 in his 3 years for the sure NCAA conference tournament bid with a final victory. So John and his teammates were the start of the best Aggie basketball years our school has ever seen. And now 35 seasons later, he's back in the Spectrum tonight.
It's going to be fun to come back. It's changed. The city has changed a lot. It's grown. There's a lot of new things that I didn't have when we were here. I mean, A&W was our big place to go after a game and get a big Aggie, but it's changed. It's changed a lot of things, but I'm still excited to go play in the Spectrum and get some things done.
I remember the A&W Big Blue Special as well that John's talking about there. So he brings now, he's had 18 years in St. George, 28 if you include his years at Snow College as a head coach. As an in-state basketball coach, he has more victories than any coach, man or woman, in the state history. 593 is where it's at and counting. It's year 3 of their transition to be an NCAA Division I team. They can actually make the tournament starting next year. They can't play the NCAA tournament this year. So, and now they're part of our old league, the WAC, and their first full season, of course, being known as Utah Tech rather than Dixie State. And since Ryan Odom and the Aggies can't get BYU and Utah on the schedule anymore, we get our in-state fix all here at home this year. We've already had Utah Valley, beaten them earlier, 75-58, and tonight the Trailblazers. And then coming in on Monday night, December 19th, it's Weber State that will be in the Spectrum. So tonight, 9 days removed from that exciting 95-85 win over Oral Roberts, the Aggies.
Old-fashioned shootout. I mean, that was incredible, wasn't it? A lot of things that we can learn from. It won't be the last team that will play that, has the ability to spread you out like they do. And so it's great that we had that experience and that feeling, to play against a quality team like that.
And so Odom's Aggies continue to try and stay unbeaten with 2 more contests going on this week. And let's talk about tonight. It's Utah State and Utah Tech. It's KVNU Game Day. Hi, everybody. Al Lewis with Jalen Moore. Our pregame information coming up here. Jalen's keys to the game and some of his thoughts, interviews. We've got Rylan Jones tonight. All sponsored in part by S.E. Needham Jewelers, the state's oldest jewelry store with great gift ideas and, of course, fabulous jewelry and diamond rings and diamond jewelry available for Christmas. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, always happy to come to your home. And they educate the patients about their services there, and they can, again, do that in your home. And Chemdry of Northern Utah. Again, they remove allergens out of your carpets. Superior solutions and services, keeping your home clean, safe, and happy. So let's bring in Jalen Moore right now. Jalen, your dad was an assistant coach on the John Judkins team in 1988. Did you know that?
I did. My dad's told me some good stories about some of the players he was able to, obviously coach and coaches he's been able to coach with too. So it's kind of fun hearing the history and stuff like that from him playing and as well as coaching.
Yep, he's here. Well, we have enjoyed what we have seen so far. I mean, this Aggie basketball team, I think, has got all of us saying the exact thing, Jalen. They're fun to watch. They play basketball a fun way, and they play the game the right way. They play it as a team.
Yeah, they do, and that's what makes fun basketball. It's like those old time Spurs teams that used to just play together, and they were always fun to watch. They were successful. They did a lot of great things. And like that's kind of what our team's similar to. We have guys that can hurt you in a bunch of different ways, but so far every game, 5 games in, we've had different guys step up. It's been Ashworth a few times now, but Funk does his thing. Barstow's been doing his thing some games. Our bench has looked awesome. And then, like we said, Ryland's been getting his stride and been scoring a little bit more. He's going to facilitate and set guys up. And I think Dan's been a huge piece for us coming off the bench. And I think Shulga's all-around game has really been shining so far this year. And so I think all those things put together is why we're 5-0. And I think, as long as we continue to do those things and execute offensively and especially defensively, I think that we're going to give a lot of teams a run for their money. And like we said, so far, our conference has looked really good. There's a lot of solid teams in it. And I think that we're going to finish higher than what we were projected, obviously, if we continue to do what we're doing. And that's what makes me the most excited is taking on some of those bigger teams that are at the top of the conference this year.
Yep, and we're going to detail the conference here in a few minutes in our second segment. But we have talked about our team this year, and it seems like they've kind of checked the boxes so far in all the winning basketball areas. But Ryland Jones did find, for me, an area that he thinks they need to get better in.
We've had 2 games where we took care of the ball really well, and then 3 games where we had a lot of turnovers. And, our numbers on offense could be better if we got more shots instead of gave the ball to other teams.
So Ryland's saying in 3 games, the turnovers haven't been a great number. You know what? He is 27-7 in his ratio this year. Steven is 28-8. I mean, those 2 guys are certainly handling the assist-to turnover ratio the right way. So it's got to be, I don't know where he's getting it from, but it's got to be coming from other people for sure.
Yeah, they've done a good job of, like I said, facilitating and leading the team the way that they're supposed to. But yeah, there's been a few games, obviously, and I think he just touched on it. He knows that in the future they're going to play a few teams, the UNLVs, the San Diego States, the Colorado States, those kind of teams like that they'll execute and punish you a little bit more than some of the teams that we played, especially if we have some of those live ball turnovers. So I think he's just talking about that kind of stuff, just freshening up that area. And if we don't give those teams that have those athletes that like to get out and run and stuff like that opportunity, I think it's going to set us up better. And like we said, we'll play a few more teams like that in the non-conference schedule too, where it'll test us a little bit more. But for the most part, those 2 have done a really good job when you have that assist-to-turnover ratio as a guard. And as much as they handle the ball and handle the pressure, having that assist-to-turnover ratio is really good for us, especially for our starting point guard and our point guard and our 2 guard that comes off the bench as well.
Yeah, that's 55-15, their ratio. That's one of the best in the country for sure. Last year, Jalen, I think we always felt like there were guys who could shoot the ball a little bit better. Now, obviously, the addition of Taylor Funk has added to things. But, Jalen, this is the number 1 NCAA three-point shooting team right now. The Utah State Aggies are.
Yeah, and it's been big, and it's like we said, it's just I think we just make a lot of open shots. That's the thing is like when we have a good look, most of the time our guys are going to knock it down. Like you said, obviously Funk's been a huge addition in our shooting, but you can definitely see guys that have made improvements. Obviously Ashworth, he last year I feel like he was a little bit streaky. This year he's way more consistent. He's open and stuff like that. He punishes the defense and he hurts them by making more shots. Last year he was kind of a streakier shooter, and that his consistency has gone up from 3. Ryland's 3's gotten better as the season's going on. I think Z and Shulga had put in a lot more time of shooting 3s and getting more consistent. Obviously Barstow started out the season very hot, and he's kind of in a little bit of a funk, but I think he's going to figure that out. And sometimes we don't necessarily need him to always shoot a ton of 3s. He's kind of more of a big body guard and wing that can go inside and post guys up and stuff like that. And I think that works out great for our team, for him to kick it out to shooters that he's surrounded by as well.
And Stephen Ashworth certainly is the number 1 guy right now. He leads the nation in bench scoring, 19 points a game. He's number 2 in 3-point field goals made per game. He's number 9 in percentage from 3 so far. And he had that career high. Boy, was 10 of those 30 points were huge there in the game against Oral Roberts.
I think it was a pretty loud 30 there at the end. It was a lot of fun in there. Thanksgiving Spectrum, we know the students were going to be out of town, but the students that were here definitely showed up. the community showed up, big time night. It was super fun to be in the Spectrum, and I think I shot the ball pretty well tonight.
He certainly did. 8 of 9 from 3. He and Dan Akin certainly every single game. And then most games, Z Hamoda has kind of been an upgrade to maybe some of what the Aggies have already had on the court before them. So, again, Jalen, this is the third best scoring team off the bench in college basketball, too. And then you've just mentioned it. You've got the starters in Jones and Funk and Shulga who have all had some good moments. And then we know that Sean Bairstow and Trevin Dorius can still be big cogs as well. And R.J. Idle-Rock, he had off-season surgery. Then he had a sickness a while back. He's trying to get back to it. He's looked better in practice to me the last little bit. So that's our team, 5-0. They take on Utah Tech tonight. And certainly, I think, Jalen, just off the top, knowing that John Judkins played here in Logan, you cannot take them for granted. He's going to have them about as jacked up as a coach can have a team jacked up to come back and play in the Spectrum, a place where he was a player at one time.
Yeah, they'll be excited, and obviously them being a new D1 team, a lot of this stuff is new for them. They haven't, they might have played in the Spectrum a few years ago and stuff as kind of like a game that you should win, a D2 team and stuff coming in here. But now, like I said, they've got some guys. They knew that they had to recruit. They knew that they were going to go D1. They knew they had to find some guys in the portal. They have some pieces that they can hurt you, if they let you. And like we say, every time you play a team in the state of Utah, you're always going to have to step up and give them a good game because it's kind of a rivalry game to an extent. And I think those guys are going to be excited to come up here and play in the Spectrum and get a crowd like this. And like we said, I think it's going to be new for a lot of the guys, but I think a lot of guys are going to look for that moment and hope to live up to that moment. And so I think our guys definitely can't overlook them. Like you said, we obviously don't get to play Utah and BYU, so getting to play some teams like UVU and Utah Tech that'll come up here and play us, I think is a great thing, and I think we got to go out there and be on top of our game again.
Yeah, they've lost at Nevada, at Washington, at North Dakota, but the results are not bad. They did, of course, get hammered by Arizona, but they beat Idaho on the road. They won against Cal State Fullerton in a game that was played in North Dakota, and then they beat Cal State Northridge at home. They're on a 7-game road streak right now. So we're going to talk more about them. Our player interview tonight, as we said tonight, is Rylan Jones. I have to ask Rylan in the interview about that call the other night in the game against him.
I mean, he hit me, and I stood up, and I was so surprised that he called a charge because in my mind, I was not even trying to hit him at all. I was just trying to get out of the way.
And we'll have the coach, Odom, on his team. Trailblazers, of course, scouting report coming up. More from John Judkins. Utah State, Utah Tech coming up in the Spectrum. No TV. It's streaming again tonight on the Mountain West Network if you're not going. Hey, Golden Spike Electric brings you our game day on KVNU. The Generac generators are there, the power you can always count on with the help of Golden Spike equipment, all of your electrical needs. And LSS Insurance, as we're winding down on the open enrollment season for changing Medicare coverage, for getting into your own insurance if you're not covered at work, 752-9493, but all of your insurance needs handled by them. And we appreciate them as sponsors of Game Day. So back with Jalen Moore and more in a moment. It's Utah State and Utah Tech tonight. Game Day continues on KVNU.
Thermo Fisher Scientific is hiring for their manufacturing, distribution, and warehouse team. And that's great news for anyone seeking a rewarding career. Thermo Fisher offers positions across multiple shifts, competitive compensation, health benefits, paid time off, bonuses, and an excellent work environment. Help Thermo Fisher make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. Visit jobs.thermofisher.com and search Logan. Thermo Fisher Scientific is an equal opportunity employer.
We're heading into some crazy weather this winter, which means power outages. Tyler and his team at Golden Spike Electric can install a Generac automatic standby generator for your home so you can avoid issues when the power goes out. If you have one already, Golden Spike Electric can maintain your Generac automatic standby generator for you. Find them online at gsegenerators.com or call 435-257-3016. Golden Spike Electric and Generac automatic standby generators. Power you can count on.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
As a small business, achieving your financial goals and ambitions can be a steep and rocky mountain climb. This is Lance Zollinger, president at Cache Valley Bank. To conquer the mountain and achieve your goals, it takes planning, hard work, and discipline. At Cache Valley Bank, we have the resources, expertise, and flexibility to help you scale your way to success. Give us a call. Let's work together and climb the mountains that await. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Alpine Home Medical has been around for over 25 years. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. What keeps us coming to work every day? We're passionate about caring for you. From home and bathroom safety to transportation, mobility, recovery, oxygen, sleep, and more, come into any of our 10 locations today and let us take care of you.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
It's KVNU Aggie Game Day, brought to you by Aegis Home Health and Hospice on News Talk KVNU.
You know, we expect a tough test, and obviously, as you know, there's very little difference in college basketball right now amongst the different level teams. I mean, you're seeing it every night. You know, these tight games, Michigan State, Portland. You know, Portland beats Villanova. Like, there's a lot of parity in college basketball right now.
I think Jalen Moore, Coach Odom is right on with it this year. It just seems like people can beat somebody on any particular night in college basketball, no matter what level you're at or who you're at. I mean, there's 16 teams, and the Aggies are one of 16 that are left undefeated already out of 360 or 70 in college basketball.
Yeah, it's very even this year. Like you said, Portland's gone out there and beat some teams. Obviously, North Carolina was a straight-up number one. They're on a three-game losing streak. Gonzaga's lost twice already. Michigan State's lost some games. You know, Kansas and them, Duke's lost. You know, it's just a lot of teams out there where it's a lot more even this year. It really is open. I don't think a real team has really stepped its foot out there and been like, hey, we're the best team so far. Obviously, there's some teams that have been looking really good so far and so early in the season, but I like it. You know, I like that it's a lot more even, and there's more upsets that they're happening, and I think that's just because basketball players are becoming better. The transfer portal, freshmen, you know, with the NIL deals, they don't always just go to the big schools. You know, a lot of these guys that come out as 4- or 5-star recruits, they can go to whichever or whatever school they want to now and still get paid almost as much money as they probably used to, obviously under the table, you know. So I think it's spread it out. It's made it more even for the college basketball, and it's more fun to watch.
Houston's the number one team right now. First time they've been number one since Keem Olajuwon and Phi Slamma-Jamma. Texas, Virginia, Arizona, Purdue are the top teams right now. But you mentioned it earlier, our conference. You know, there's only the Southeastern Conference, the Big Ten Conference, and our conference that have 3 teams that are still undefeated in all of college basketball. And I'd have to say last night, New Mexico winning at St. Mary's better get everybody's attention. The Coach Pitino down there has House, he has Mashburn, but he's got more of a team than just those 2 guys. Yeah,
our conference looks good. You know, obviously we know San Diego State's had a tough non-conference, and they beat Ohio State, and they've looked good, and they had their chances against some other solid teams. We know what we're going to get with them. You know, we know UNLV's gotten better. Like you said, we know New Mexico went to St. Mary's, which is always a tough place to play, and they went in and won. You know, they probably haven't done something like that in a few years, you know, and they're building a special thing down there, and obviously we look really good right now. So I think once we get to our conference play, even those teams towards the bottom, the San Jose's, the Air Forces, the stuff like that, they used to be towards the bottom. You're going to have to show up every night and play in our conference this year because it's steadily getting better. And I think there's going to be some upsets that you see from those bottom teams beating some of the upper tier teams that in the past, past few years, maybe didn't happen as often. I think it's going to get more even. And I think like I said, I think that helps with some of these NIL deals and the transfer portal as well.
San Jose State 6-2. They're much improved. Nevada's 7-1. Air Force 5-3. Wyoming doesn't have Maldonado and EK playing right now. They lost in overtime to Santa Clara, a team that we saw earlier yesterday. They played down at Salt Lake Community College. So interesting stuff going on. We have 9 December games, starting with this one tonight. And, of course, we'll play a conference game before the end of the month. We play Fresno State on New Year's Eve to get conference play started. Our center in tonight, where I want you to talk specifically about one guy's play, is a guy that I know you've seen for a lot of years like me. Rylan Jones has something in his basketball IQ that not very many players have. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, he does, and the best thing about it, he's had that his whole life. I remember watching him in high school doing a lot of the similar things that he does now in college, and obviously he's just gotten stronger, gotten older, gotten a better understanding of the game as he's gotten older. He's gotten more skilled, and I think, like we've said, I think he's looked more to score, and I think that's kind of helped our team. When he looks to score a little bit more, it makes teams have to respect him a little bit more, makes them have to guard him. And then I think that his options of facilitating for his teammates, which is what he would like to do first, is easier. It opens up the court a little bit more for him, and that he's going to have that high basketball IQ, make the correct reads. And the thing is, we sleep. You see a lot of the great passes he makes and the great plays he makes offensively, but a lot of people sleep on his defensive IQ as well, the way that he steps in and takes a lot of charges, the way that he steps up and guards other teams' good players. Those charges obviously don't go on the stat sheet, but they don't go unnoticed by the coaching staff and his teammates because that's a turnover for the other team. It's putting your body on the line for your team and us getting the ball back for an extra possession. So I think the things that he does offensively and defensively are great, and he's just steadily getting better. And I think, like I said, I think when he's a little bit more aggressive looking to score, it opens up the court for the rest of our team as well.
He's had almost one charge per game in every game he's played for the Aggies. That's an amazing stat. How about the one, though, he got called for? What did you think of that call in the Oral Roberts game?
Yeah, it's just it's
I mean, he
got
slammed by the guy's shoulder. He was trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where I don't know. I feel like some of the block charge calls for some of the refs are kind of a guessing game. I just see some refs that don't necessarily. Sometimes they might be out of position, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I obviously. The flopping rule and all that kind of stuff there's a lot going into it now in college basketball and stuff like that. So I thought it was a bad call like everybody else did too. But, like we said, refs are also human. They're going to make some bad calls. And most of the time a bad call comes on a block charge call. That's when they usually make the most mistakes, I think, so it's kind of a bang play, and the refs got to react to it quickly. So.
And I think the Aggies got a makeup after that from that official. I think they really did. So let's talk about Utah Tech tonight. We mentioned their results so far have not been that bad. One thing that stands out, they're giving up 50% to the opponent shooting the ball, but it sounds like, according to Coach Judkins, he's more worried about the other side of the ball.
That's one area that we're really struggling with right now and trying to get better is just being more consistent on our shooting and getting in the gym and spending the time that we need. Because recruiting-wise, these guys all can shoot. We saw them in high school. We saw them in JUCO. It's just getting the confidence and getting them into our offense so they feel comfortable shooting the ball. That's where I look at the Aggies, how comfortable and how much confidence they have in their outside shooting. I mean, they're shooting 30, 35-foot threes. They got a lot of confidence, and that's something that we got to try to get our guys to do the same.
Their leader is Cameron Gooden, a 5'11 guard. He's averaging about 16 points a game now. He's been a double-figure scorer. He came from Chipola and Kilgore College. He's been a 3-year starter. They've got the transfer, Tanner Christensen, 6'10", 280. So you got, the other night we saw the really skinny 7'5 guy. This guy's got some bulk down inside, and he played well at Idaho. Isaiah Pope is a wing who's done some stuff lately. What do you see of this Utah Tech team in your studying of the Trailblazers?
Yeah, just kind of what their coach said, touched on as well. Obviously, I think they got to get better offensively, and it's an adjustment. We know that they're coming from D2 up to D1, and it's crazy the difference from that level. As a full program moving up to D1, there's just a lot of different the strength of the game, the quickness of the game. Like he said, the way that players are skilled and can shoot from deeper range. I think that's just kind of the adjustments that they have to adjust to, and I think as years go on, I think they're going to get better as well. But I think, like he said, I think their offense has to get better. They really don't have a lot of rim protection. Like you said, they have a big body in there, but they don't have a lot of rim protection, and they're not that great of a rebounding team, and the thing is, that's kind of where we excel. We're a really good scoring team, and we're a really good rebounding team. And so I think those are kind of some of the areas where we're just going to be able to tell the difference between our team and their team. I think that's going to be some things that some people need to look for. But I think, defensively and offensively, I think as they are become more of a D1 team and more of recruiting some players to come to their D1 program and stuff like that, I think they'll make those adjustments. But as of right now, I think they're just early in the season trying to adjust from the style of play of D2 to D1.
Okay. Riverwoods Conference Center, again, they have the rooms for your family get-togethers, business get-togethers, holiday season. You make your plans there. They have Elements Restaurant, a great spot with steaks, chicken, seafood, pastas, wood-fired pizzas. They bring you our keys to the game from Jalen. What have you got tonight for the Aggies to beat the Utah Tech Trailblazers?
Yeah, my first key, I think, like we said, that we kind of touched on, we know they have a big guy, but I think we need to dominate inside with our size and strength. I think we're just going to be the bigger team overall, and I think we're going to be the stronger team overall. So I think that's the biggest key, is we got to get inside and punish them that way. Number two, I think we got to get back to having strong defense. You know, the first few games of the season, we were holding people under 70 points. The last 2 games, people have scored over 80 points. You know, it's obviously if a team like is kind of cold offensively, like Utah Tech, does come in here and does happen to have a hot night because they are coming in with confidence. They are coming up here into the Spectrum where they know they're going to have a good atmosphere. You never know. Like Coach said, a lot of teams are good this year and can beat anybody on any night. This is a team we can't overlook, and I think our defense is going to be a huge thing to help us get this win. I think we have to get back to those defensive ways the way we were the first 2 or 3 games of the season. Obviously, we played a few better teams than Oral Roberts. They had some guys that can score. But if you let a team like Utah Tech hang around and get that confidence, you know, and our defense isn't there, they're going to have the confidence thinking they can beat us. So I think our defense and the strength of our defense is going to be really big. And number 3, I think we need to score inside out. You know, when you go, obviously, we've been shooting the ball so well from the outside. I think we need to make sure that we don't necessarily fall in love with that outside shot. I think as long as we start from the inside, you know, and that could be giving Trevin the ball, getting the ball, get Dan active, like we said, posting up Shulga and Bairstow and getting them in the post, even putting Funk in the post at occasion. I think that would be big. You look at their stats, like we said, they average 1.7 blocks per game. That means they don't necessarily have that rim protector like some of these other teams that we've played have. So I think if we start with the inside out, our threes are going to be there, and I think if we attack them into the lane, get some driving kicks going, I think that'll help us win the game. So if we do those 3 things, I think we come away with a win tonight.
And John and I will talk about that and analyze what you've talked about, so we'll look inside in some of the play after the game and see how well that went. Jalen, thanks a lot. We got the Sunday game against San Francisco in the afternoon a little bit, so we'll talk to you on Sunday afternoon, okay?
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
All righty. Jalen Moore joining with us. Again, always appreciate him before the game. We mentioned DD Auto and Salvage. They want to get that junk vehicle out of your yard. They'll pay you top dollar before winter really sets in. Make sure you call them at 787-1204 for more details. And I'll tell you what, fall-winter preventative maintenance program right now, as we're going towards winter, make sure you have your furnace checked over by Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, 752-7272. You can also go online to their website, advancedheating-ac.com, and schedule the work to be done. Coach's segment is coming up next.
Really impressed with his coaching, and he's won 590-some games. So, I mean, it's a lot. And first ever triple-double here for an Aggie. It's pretty cool.
We're going to talk about the coaches win. That's Ryan Odom on John Judkins. It's coming up next on Game Day as the Aggies play Judkins' Utah Tech team from St. George tonight in the Spectrum.
You have to see it to believe it. The new Three Peaks Medical Plaza is Cache Valley's newest and most up-to-date medical facility. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic, and the Hearing Aid Center are now located in the Three Peaks Medical Plaza in North Logan. The entire staff and Drs. Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette look forward to helping you and your family at this state-of-the-art medical facility. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat is now located in Providence and Three Peaks Medical Plaza, 2245 North 400 East in North Logan. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance products, including SelectMed, are accepted.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. A mattress store recently closed right next door to our Riverdale location. Most people have said how awesome that is for us. I think I disagree. At My Mattress, we love competition. We love it if you shop other places, but also give us a shot. Shop online or go to other stores, maybe even a warehouse sale, but come into My Mattress because we want our shot at winning your business. Come into My Mattress right now and see if better sleep and better pricing are what you'll find.
Holiday parties and events at the Riverwoods Conference Center offer a festive and fun holiday atmosphere. Paired with catering from the Elements Restaurant, your special occasion can include tasty hors d'oeuvres, delicious entrees, and decadent desserts that always deliver excellence. Now accepting reservations for the 2022 holiday season, the Riverwoods Conference Center and Elements Restaurant can accommodate you whether your event is large or small. Visit theriverwoods.com or call 750-5151.
It's back. Jarek's Fine Jewelry in Logan is having our annual Pick a Pearl event. If you've attended this in the past, you know how much fun we have. And if you haven't come before, you don't want to miss this exciting event. For only $10, pick your oyster, open it that day, or save it for that stocking stuffer surprise. Mark your calendar, Friday and Saturday, December 9th and 10th. Pick a pearl at Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Look for the bright green cars.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
For over 20 years, Aegis Home Health and Hospice has been providing health care to Cache, Box Elder, and Rich counties. Whatever or wherever your health care needs, Aegis' goal is to meet those needs. Aegis Home Health and Hospice core values are character, experience, and trust. Aegis, AEGIS, striving to provide the health care services you need. Aegis Home Health and Hospice. Call 723-9000 or find them at myaegis.com.
The clock is ticking, and Aggie basketball is getting closer. It's KVNU game day.
Yeah, many times. I did it. In fact, I'm getting better now because I used to always say we come out of a timeout or something, I'd say, hey, let's go, Dixie on three. But so now it's Blazers on three or Trailblazers. They've done a great job of doing the change in name and the logo and the many different things. And now we just got to get people to know who we are.
John Judkins, I mean, it was Dixie State forever. And now in our politically correct modern world, it is now Utah Tech, the Trailblazers, here for the first time to play the Aggies as they've gone to Division I basketball starting here at 7. Quick scoreboard update tonight brought to you by Aegis. You just heard from them. 723-9000. You can call them again for nursing services and health care in Cache, Box Elder, and Rich counties. Aegis Home Health and Hospice, AEGIS. UConn leading Oklahoma State 68-56. UConn, one of the undefeated teams. Texas, an undefeated team, is up on Creighton 55-46. They're playing the Big East and Big 12 big matchups going on in college basketball tonight. As we get to our coaches segment tonight, two coaches with great family traditions in basketball. I mean, John Judkins, USU player, now great coach. Jeff Judkins, his brother, one of the best ever play at Utah in basketball. And between the two of them, coaching 1,049 combined coaching wins. As Jeff, of course, is a longtime coach at BYU with the women's program. Ryan Odom, his dad, longtime successful coach Dave Odom at 3 schools. And now Ryan, who himself played basketball at Hampton-Sydney, is now 8 years, 144 wins in the job. And he's the only coach to take a number 16 seed to beat a number 1 in the big dance when he did that at UMBC. This is his 40th game. He has coached against for the Aggies, and he's against Utah Tech in the Spectrum tonight.
Yeah, we're excited to be back in the Spectrum. It's always fun to play in here. We've had some great games so far in the Spectrum, and Utah Tech's a good team, obviously well-coached team. Former Aggie coaching them. And has done such a great job with that program and transitioning them, to Division I. And this is the best team that they've had so far.
And as we pointed out, John Judkins knows all about this basketball building and the tradition of this basketball program. He helped build it with the Aggies.
Yeah, I played there with Coach Rod Tuller was my coach, and it was from 85 to 88. We were in the PCAA back then. It's changed a lot. But yeah, I loved my experience there playing, and we did some really good things. Went to the NCAA tournament, just a lot of fun. So I was the first time I've been back since I played there. We were scheduled to play a couple of years ago, but then the COVID hit, and we couldn't play the Aggies, and so this is the first time back. We're excited.
His 88 team: Kevin Nixon, Jeff Anderson, Reed Newey, Dan Conway, Greg Housekeeper, Gilbert Pete. And the guy, of course, from another great hoops family in the state, as we're talking about that, Nate Grant was a part of that team. So he has Utah Tech into their 3rd year of this transition going into Division I. Coach Odom says the Blazers, again, are not a pushover for sure at 3-4 so far.
You're really impressed with their size, their commitment to rebounding, their commitment to defense and distracting and creating turnovers. Certainly will be a major factor to the game. They're one of the better teams in the country at forcing turnovers with their unique defense. They're willing to change it up, at times, and offensively, they're very clean with the way that they play. They get the ball inside. They have some veteran guards and veteran players in general that have proven to be good. They've won some tough games so far on the road. Not easy to do. And so we're expecting a tough battle.
So again, the Aggies 5-0, and they seem to be in most areas, as we were talking about with Jalen Moore, in great shape, but national leaders in a few of these categories. But as we pointed out, one of 16 undefeated teams in college basketball, but areas of concern always for coaches at this point of the season. Rylan Jones mentioned it earlier. It sounds like Coach Odom believes the same as far as ball handling.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 elite games, from an assist to turnover perspective, and then we had 3 that were not good. We pride ourselves on taking care of the ball, and that's something certainly that we want to do. Offensive rebounding, is certainly an area where we want to try to get a little bit better. I think we're better than we've shown so far this season. And then, defending the 3. Defending the 3 is always a tough thing in college basketball nowadays. And, we had 2 teams shoot the lights out, and we were fortunate to win those games because we shot the lights out. So it's not something we want to live with.
And tonight the Trailblazers, again, are facing somebody in Coach Judkins, somebody in Coach Judkins' alma mater at Utah State that does get your attention, though, as he said, with the way they're playing basketball in their 5-game win streak.
Now we get a chance to come up here and play the Aggies, which they're 5-0, and they're a very good team, and they shoot the ball extremely well, especially from the 3-point area. So it's going to be a challenge for us, but we love this. This is what we did it for, and we hope we just can get better and better every day.
A senior guard in Camden Gooden is their leading scorer. He's their most experienced player. He's number 3. He's a senior from Frisco, Texas. Coach Odom ran down their personnel for us.
Gooden's a really good player. He can get to the rim on you and cause problems. He makes his teammates better. Christensen around the rim is tough. You'll see how big he is. And he's got moves around the basket. And he's an elite passer. Like, he can really pass the basketball. And they do a good job of moving them around. They have a ton of different sets that they run. They have really good size around the perimeter and also in the front court.
And Tech uses about 7 players mostly. 4 starters did return, but a couple of those guys are not starting now for John Judkins. He just knows it all starts with Gooden, his guard.
He's been a great leader for us. This is his 3rd year with us with the COVID year. He's done a great job so far with that. And, we got a lot of new guys. We lost Hunter Schofield, who was our leading scorer last year and made first team all WAC. And it's always hard to replace a guy like that. But Tanner Christensen has come in from the University of Idaho. We got him in the portal, and he's done well for us. We're just trying to get used to him of what he's good at and where we can get him the ball. And he's so much different than Hunter. Hunter was more of a stretch 5, or almost a stretch 4, where Tanner's strictly more of a back to the basket kind of guy, and he can face up and hit the shots, but not yet like Hunter did. But that's something we got 2 years to work with him on that. And then we have a lot of guys back too from last year that know their roles, and we just got to get them going. But again, Cam's been, these last 7 games has been solid and has been our leader and has been our leading scorer, but also has been the guy on the court to get us in our stuff and do the things that we're doing.
So there's former Aggie John Judkins coaching down there. Again, he's got more coaching wins than any coach ever in the state of Utah. As far as men's and women's coaches, you add them all up. His JC days at Snow, and down there, he's getting close to 600 wins. Interesting stuff. Our Aggie player tonight that we will talk to pregame is Rylan Jones, and Coach Odom on him.
He's a savant in terms of how he knows the game and understands the game well before we get out on the court and start playing our opponent.
I think you'll enjoy the interview with Rylan coming up. And then we have Logan High basketball. We understand it was supposed to be at 7, but it started at 6, so we'll be joining that game, I guess, in progress here in a moment or two. But My Mattress, they have Cache Valley's only source for IntelliBed gel mattresses rated #1 in better sleep. And the Pick a Pearl event coming up at Jarek's Fine Jewelry, always making it special. You make it Jarek's. They bring you game day on KVNU before the Aggies playing tonight. And if you're not going, it's streaming on the Mountain West Network tonight.
This is Zach with HSA Depot. Christmas is nearly here. Make sure you be merry and bright by using your pre-tax funds on your medical needs. We know your regular holiday budget is disappearing quick, so instead, save money by using your pre-tax income to buy qualifying medical supplies. HSA Depot carries hundreds of unique and dashing eligible products to help you conquer your healthcare. Come to HSA Depot next to Sally Beauty Supply and see how much you can save this holiday season. HSA Depot, 5-star review.
Daryl's Appliance is feeling the Christmas spirit and wants to spread some cheer. Join them December 17th to enter to win a KitchenAid stand mixer and other prizes at Daryl's during their in-store event. Get some hot cocoa and a picture with their special guests, Santa and Mrs. Claus. They have Christmas specials all December on GE, Whirlpool, and other appliances. Plus, get 12 months interest-free financing and Daryl's famous service that backs every sale. Only at Daryl's, west on Airport Road.
Advanced Heating and AC, the two-time gold medal winner in Best in Utah. They're teaming up with Carrier Heating and Cooling. Carrier provides you the best furnace units available, and now's the best time to buy a new unit before the weather turns Cache Valley cold. Financing options are available. Turn to the experts at Advanced Heating and Carrier. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, 752-7272, or stop by their showroom west of DI and online at advancedheating-ac.com.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
Hi, this is James with White Pine Funerals. We're excited to host our annual holiday concert featuring a choir and musical ensemble by Jay Richards. All are welcome to attend free of charge. We extend a special invitation to anyone who is missing a loved one this holiday season. Food donations are encouraged at the door for the Cache Food Pantry. Back-to-back performances will take place at White Pine on Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. That's Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. or 8:30 p.m.
Hey, Aggie fans! Looking for the best burger in town? Bring the family to Prodigy Brewing and try out our signature Prodigy Supreme Burger or a wood-fired pizza. Need a smaller plate for the kids? Our kids menu has you covered. Whether you are out with the family or just want to catch the Aggies game with friends, Prodigy Brewing is the place to be in Cache Valley, located at 25 West Center Street in beautiful downtown Logan.
Aggie Game Day continues. Sponsored by Daryl's Appliance on News Talk KVNU.
Oh, he's huge. And, he wasn't feeling great on that trip to San Diego and couldn't even imagine travel days in between before playing the game. And so for him to be healthy, to get back at his full strength, it's huge because he's such a great distributor. He's so unselfish and he's a great shooter when he's open. And so I think to have him back is just another vital piece to this team, and so it was a lot of fun.
Getting to Rylan Jones here in just a moment on an interview that Stephen Ashworth talking about him. Aggies 5-0, fourth time in 10 years. First undefeated November, though, so they've had since 2008 and 9. They've had an Aggie with a double-double every single game so far this year, and the Aggies have only had one losing year in 29. Meantime, Utah Tech started as a JC until about 2000 when they went to a four-year school. They started in 1911, and they've been in the NCAA, kind of Division I or Division II ranks since 2006 and 7. Couple of interesting stats for Cache Valley Bank. Our Aggie player interview brought to you by White Pine Funeral Services. You can visit whitepinefunerals.com for more details about their many years of experience in helping people and families in those situations that come up. And here is Rylan. Okay, our first check-in with Rylan Jones this year. And obviously the team off to a really good start, Rylan. What's your analysis so far?
Yeah, no, obviously, 5-0. 4 home games we've won, 1 on the road. And, it's been a great start. We're playing well on offense and defense. Our team's meshing well together, and it's just super fun. We're having a lot of fun and just excited for the next game.
Right now, I don't know if you can play a whole lot better offensively. I mean, you're leading the nation in three-point shooting at last time I looked at the stats.
Yeah, obviously our offensive has been unbelievable. The one area we can get better is turnovers. We've had more turnovers than we would like to. We've had 2 games where we took care of the ball really well, and then 3 games where we had a lot of turnovers. And, our numbers on offense could be better if we got more shots instead of gave the ball to the other team. So, that's an area of improvement for us.
So then is defense a concern a little bit when you start to give up a few more points? These teams you played, I think some people don't really understand the kind of games you've had to stand up against these teams. This is really good, solid preparation for this season coming up, don't you think?
Yeah, no, our defense has been really good. Obviously, we'd like to eliminate a couple of the catch-and-shoot threes that we've kind of given up off of mis-execution on game plan stuff. But, yeah, Oral Roberts, 50% of their shots come from 3, and, they got a lot of guys who can make hard shots, and then they obviously got a 7'5" guy who's a really awkward cover because he likes to shoot threes, and it's just not normal to ever see that. And we've played good offensive teams and very solid teams, and we've done a pretty good job of limiting what they can do and making it really hard on them. And yeah.
How did you like the switching defense to get the 7'5" guy when you got him?
Yeah, that was something crazy that will never happen again probably, where Steven and I both were just guarding him in the post one time, and it's just like, he's not super strong, and we got, gravity, so, we just used our lower gravity and, hoped he missed, and he missed.
Rylan Jones with us, and I have to say, in the Oral Roberts game, I thought last year the call in the end of the St. Mary's game is probably the worst call I've still seen when they called the loose ball foul on Justin Beebe. But your foul call the other game it's got to rank up there among some of the best ever. You're just trying to get over to a spot on the floor.
Yeah, I was just trying to get out of the way. Obviously that call had been called like 3 times in the game already, so I was like, well, I'm not going to try to run that guy. It's a foul call. And then, he hit me, and I stood up, and I was so surprised that he called a charge, because in my mind, I was not even trying to hit him at all. Like, I was just trying to get out of the way. And he just, it was like a football block, just like a blindside block, and he drilled me, and I got
real good left elbow or left shoulder.
I got the foul call, so it's kind of funny.
Well, Rylan, the one thing we always notice with you is you do play a physical kind of game, even though your size. I know you feel like you have to play that way, right? You have to get in there and go after people and take charges, and you're all over the floor and looking for the ball.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I was raised, and sometimes that's how you can impact the game the most is, diving on the floor, taking charges, doing the dirty work, hustle work, that maybe not show up in the stat sheet, but, you just get the ball for your team and, do some of that.
Rylan, you're playing Utah Tech. You know more about basketball. Whenever I talk to you, you know everybody who plays everybody. Do you know much about the Utah Tech players on their roster?
I know a couple of them from high school. One of them, Noah Gonzalez played at Lehigh. He won a state championship. They beat Olympus, so obviously I was watching that game. And, he's a very good player. And then Trevin Alfrey, we grew up playing together. He's a Utah kid. And then those are really the 2 only guys I know from – they don't have many Utah kids on their team right now. So I don't know a ton, but I know those 2, and, it'll be good to see them when they come up.
And like the coach said, Rylan will be ready with the game plan against whoever he goes against in this game. We'll have second part of that interview as we continue on Aggie Game Day for the game tonight, the Aggies and Utah Tech. And we're going to have him talk a little bit about Stephen Ashworth.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's unbelievable, and hope it never ends.
They're talking about his shooting the other night. Game Day brought to you in part by Young Truck and Trailer Center, offering all makes of trailer and flatbed work trucks in the Valley. We're back with Game Day on KVNU in a moment.
You're first and goal at the 10-yard line with seconds left on the clock. Your running back is poised for the game-winning touchdown, but before you can make the snap, the opposing team just takes the ball and locks it in a safe, and they won't give you the combination unless you pay them $10,000. That's exactly how ransomware works. And in 2021, 2 out of every 3 organizations fell victim to ransomware attacks. Protect your business with Les Olson Security Suite from Les Olson IT. Learn more at lesolson.com.
The Young Automotive Group is proud to announce Young Truck and Trailer Center in Cache Valley. Whether it's heavy equipment trailers, horse trailers, race car trailers, or cargo and utility trailers, we're excited to offer some of the finest trailers and flatbed work trucks to Cache Valley. Our team of experts look forward to helping you find the right truck or trailer to fit your needs, with competitive prices offered on every make and model for sale on our lot. With our extensive inventory, you'll find the best deals right here in Cache Valley. Young Truck and Trailer Center, just off Highway 89 in Logan. Think young, drive young.
National Medicare commercials are confusing and offer amazing coverages and options that simply seem too good to be true. This is Rusty Allen from LSS Insurance. Unfortunately, national companies don't know our networks of doctors or hospitals. At LSS Insurance, I guarantee if there is a way to get you more for less, we will do it. Now is the time to change or sign up for 2023 Medicare. Call LSS Insurance at 752-9493. Go to lssins.com or come in to our free third Thursday meeting.
It's never too cold or wet to get rid of that old vehicle. Now is the time to earn extra cash for the holidays by calling DD Auto and Salvage. Let them pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles, paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204 today.
See store for details.
Nothing compares to the warmth and feel that a wood stove provides. The two-time Best of Northern Utah winning team says there's never been a better time to replace your old inefficient wood stove and install a new energy-efficient EPA-certified Vermont casting wood product in your home. The U.S. government is offering federal tax credits of 26% on your wood stove install. For Vermont casting units, that includes stoves, venting, and labor. Call or email Advanced Fireplace and Stove for a free in-home estimate. Call 435-752-7272 or go to advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
KVNU Game Day returns with Al Lewis.
And we return with our interview with our Aggie junior guard and Rylan Jones, part 2. This run that Steven's on shooting the ball is pretty good.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's unbelievable, and I hope it never ends.
But this team has so many places it seems like you can go to. Even you've had key baskets to really help this team at different times.
Yeah, we're super deep. As you know, we're 10 strong, and all 10 are really good players, and we all play well together. It's just who's playing well at that time, will be out there, and the open man will get the big shot. Really is how we've played this season, and that's how we continue to hopefully play.
How is this team playing different than last year's team played?
I think we're better on defense. Our defense has been better at the start of the year than we were last year. And, it's just helped into our transition offense where we've been really good at creating open early shots that, we love to take. That was an emphasis for us all summer, was play fast in transition and create advantages really early and get open threes.
Mm-hmm. So my feeling was I thought the team was playing a quicker style. It's just happening because maybe you're doing a little bit better on defense to make that happen.
Yeah, definitely. Like our defense is leading to, we're getting them to miss hard twos, and that leads to us getting the ball and out in transition and, running to the corners and, Taylor or Steven getting open threes on the break. And that's just kind of how our offense has been, the first 5 games, and we can continue to hopefully do that.
To finish this off a little bit, Rylan Jones with us again. I know last year eventually was kind of injury plagued a little bit for you. I think there was a lot of injuries that bothered you. You start off the preseason hurting your foot. Are you thinking, this is going to happen again, or are we going to have to go through this again?
Yeah, I never had been hurt in the preseason, so maybe I got hurt in the preseason and it'll cancel out for the actual season. So let's just keep praying for that.
And then the one day I come to practice, you're as purple or green as I've ever seen anybody. You didn't feel very well.
No, that was a rough couple of days that I'm glad I got through and got it over with and started feeling better. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So number one for you is to make the team work, right? That's your first thought in the games.
Yeah, just keep making the right play on offense and defense, and just keep leading and doing what the game tells us to do.
And you got a little bit more confidence with your shot right now too. That's good.
Yeah, no, I'm shooting it great. Guys are getting me open shots and I'm knocking them in, and that's what all the work is that you do in the summer and winters and all that times. It's coming to light.
Right, it's good to talk to you. We'll check in later on.
Thanks, Al.
And we would hope here on game day that you always enjoy the Aggie player interviews as much as we enjoy talking to those players. Rylan Jones, I've known him since he was maybe 2 feet tall. So, again, it's always fun to now see him play for the Aggies. And, of course, we do our S.E. Needham Jewelers starting lineups before the game, and Rylan will be in there, the senior. Played at Olympus High School his last couple of years after being at Logan High before that. Max Shulga from Ukraine, Sean Bairstow from Australia, Taylor Funk from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, via St. Joe's. What an addition he's been. And then Trevin Dory is usually out there at the start, but we know how important this Aggie bench is. Yeah, in fact, it is, again, as we've said, the number one shooting team in America as we do the starting lineup for S.E. Needham Jewelers, the state's oldest jewelry store where Utah gets engaged. I mean, shooting this kind of percentage is really something, Coach.
Yeah, our expectation, we don't have a specific percentage in mind that we want to shoot every game, but we just want to take the right shots, and I think our guys have done that. Certainly, adding Taylor to the mix, Steven being out on the court more, Max being out on the court more now. That's 3 really good shooters.
Told you all the numbers again. Number 1 bench scorer in America is Stephen Ashworth. He's the number 2 3-point per game guy. Taylor Funk's number 5 in the nation there. He is number 9 in 3-point percentage, and Taylor Funk's right there with him as well. So this Aggie basketball team, again, comes in against Utah Tech tonight. First time they've played in a while since the break, and that's a little concern. They were 5-0 and rolling.
Yeah, it's never easy. You get used to playing, every few nights, and then all of a sudden you have a little bit of a break. It's great for our guys from a Thanksgiving perspective to be able to be with their families. Those that couldn't, came to our house. So, it's always good to, kind of refresh and begin to look at, some things that had happened, during the first start, regardless of the results. So you can try to improve a little bit, and that's really what we focused on.
Obviously, got to get better, even though they are 5-0. Tonight, Utah Tech, San Francisco on Sunday night at the home of the Warriors. So we look forward to talking to you after the game. As soon as it's done, John and I will be on along with Jalen Moore for game day, post-game, taking your calls and texts after the game up in the Spectrum. It's streamed on the Mountain West Network if you're not going tonight, again, for Utah Tech and the Aggies. So we'll see you immediately after the game. For the sponsors and all, Logan High Basketball is coming up next. Al Lewis will see you after the Aggie game.
Logan High Grizzly Sports, brought to you by Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, The Old Grist Mill, Castelite, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Les Olson Company, The Logo Shop, Logan High Grizzly Sports, a presentation of News Talk KVNU 102 FM, 610 AM, and online at kvnutalk.com.
Coming in just about halftime here at this Logan Grizzly Spanish Fort game, and it is a beauty. We do appreciate you tuning in to the Aggie pregame on KVNU with Al Lewis. It's a 35-28 Grizzly lead, 20 seconds left here in the second quarter. This Spanish Fort Dons team, they've come out ready to play. They're coached by Garrett Johnson. They started the season 0-2 here, but they look like they've got a little bit of fire in them. Logan's got the basketball, 7 seconds left till half. Logan leads 35-28 here on KVNU. Clint Payne on the call. Justin Anderson with a beautiful step through. Goes glass. Oh, what a shot at the buzzer. Justin Anderson gives the Grizzlies a 37-28 lead. Again, we appreciate you tuning in. Sorry about the miss in the first half here, but again, we had Aggie pregame, and this game was pushed up from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m., I believe, to accommodate travel time for the Spanish Fork Dons in light of a storm that could be rolling in. What a great first half, though. Justin Anderson, Jordan Child, the rest of the Grizzlies looked great. Jalen Argyle with some key threes, but they have been in a dogfight. They lead by 9, 37-28 against Spanish Fork, 0-2 on this season. But looking for their first win, the Grizzlies 2-0, and looking to get off the snide. Leading scorers on the season for Spanish Fork, Jackson Rees, a 6'3 senior shooting guard, averages 16 a game, and Aaron Dunn, their big sophomore center in the middle. They list him at 6'7 and about 270. He was a tight end. They moved him down to defensive tackle, offensive tackle. He played a little bit all over that line on that football team, and he's looked real good for the Dons here. But again, Logan with the 9-point lead. It is halftime here, and your Grizzlies again look good, but in a little bit more of a fight. Let's talk about other games around Region 11. Got a couple of scores for you. Skyview in the north-south, whatever you call it, north-south rivalry tournament of 4A. Skyview beat Cedar 68-52. They were up by 20 in the fourth, and then just kind of coasted, got guys playing time, which makes a lot of sense. And then in another great game, Ridgeline beats Desert Hill 64-62. Ridgeline threw it away just with a handful of seconds left. Ridgeline came down, or D Hills threw it away. Sorry, Ridgeline came down, dumped it into the post, got an easy bucket, won the game 64-62. So far, Region 11 looks really good in that north-south rivalry tournament. Bear River, 2-0 on the season as well. After a nice win at home against Morgan, will face North San Pete in the Bear River Winter Classic tonight. That game will be at 8 p.m. Your Logan Grizzly High-Lows entertaining this crowd here tonight, doing a great job. Again, it's halftime here from Logan High School, home of the Grizzlies. Clint Payne on the call. It's 37-28, Logan in the lead. Appreciate you tuning into the Cache Valley, our KVNU, and all the great programming they have here. Appreciate you listening to Aggie pregame with Al Lewis, and then coming over to this game. I'm filling in for Jason Walker again, so thank you for putting up with me for one more time, Grizzly fans. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes with keys to the second half. Don't you go anywhere. You listen to KVNU 610 AM, 102.1 FM. And remember our sponsors, Adams Wealth Advisor. You got to check Adams Wealth Advisor out. They put their clients first under any circumstance. Check them out at adamswealthadvisors.com. And great bakes and graphics. They always sponsor. They make you look, play the game. They get people talking. They have clothing, business apparel. It gets you noticed. GreatBasonGraphics.com. We'll be back at 610 KVNU 102.1 FM with more Logan Grizzly basketball in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere, Grizz fans.
Following the big stories, News Talk KVNU, Logan. Proud to be locally owned and operated by the Cache Valley Media Group.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
A beautiful career in the beauty industry.